Hi, it's Ian. Welcome back to 30 Days of Knife Skills. This is day 6, and we are working with Napa Cabbage, one of my favorites. Um, Whereas normal cabbage, regular cabbage like green or red cabbage, I might cut down the center and then take halves and start working from there. I think with this kind, it's nice to work more with individual leaves instead of just cutting down the center. So I'll take the time that uh, that it takes to make it look a little bit nicer and to work with individual leaves. So the first thing I did was to cut the end off. I like doing that instead of ripping it off so that it looks cleaner and easier to work with. And of course, you can stack leaves like this and save time by cutting more at one time. So maybe the first thing might be wanting to make a coleslaw or do some kind of a quick salad, and you want to shred it. So very simply, you would just stack it up and do the thrust cut that we've done before. So Napa cabbage has more water content and it's a little bit less fibrous, and it'll break down a little bit more easily if you, for example, just salt this and leave it for a few minutes. It'll turn pretty soft pretty quickly. So you won't always need to shred it quite as fine as, let's say, regular green cabbage. So that's something that we might do. And we could also do a quick stir fry or something with that kind of a shape. Another way we might prep Napa cabbage would be to do it in chunks. So one of the things I like to do is to do a quick salted pickle with kombu, kelp, and 2% salt, a little bit of lemon zest, a little bit of chili pepper. And after it sits an hour or two, or even overnight, it gets really delicious. In that case, normally I would just go down the line this way, lengthwise, and then cut into bite-sized chunks. So something like that. It's different pieces, different size pieces, but I know that the salt will break it down and eventually it'll all be in just nice shape. So this is pretty much how I would cut this cabbage for kimchi making as well. Pretty much the same exact thing. It would be good in stir fry just like that, or hot pot, like Japanese style nabe hot pot. There is a technique, there's a trick that I've learned that some people do in Japan for hot pot, is that we create more surface area so that the broth flavoring can go into the vegetable and season it a little bit more deeply, and that is to slice it more on a bias. So we could do that without having it first. Instead of going straight down this way, I would go like this. So you can see that the cut surface area is much wider than cutting it straight. So the theory is that this will allow for more flavor going into the cabbage and more exchange between the liquids of the cabbage, which helps flavor the broth and so on. So we could do the same thing by first having it. For example, if you wanted a little bit smaller pieces in this, then you could do the same thing, have it, and then this kind of thing. So you get this kind of piece that is has these interesting, a little bit more triangular pieces instead of the regular straight cut. So it takes a little bit more time. We can also do the same cut with a couple of leaves stacked together. It's not too difficult to do the same thing with a stack of leaves like this. Cut it down the center and then going down like that, so you get multiple pieces with that same increased surface area. It's kind of a nice little trick. I don't always do that, but if I'm making nabe, then I actually definitely do that with not just the cabbage, but other vegetables. I try to increase the surface area as much as I can, and I think it does make a difference. So I think with this cabbage that I've cut, I will probably make the quick salted pickle with the kombu and chopped chili. It could be fresh or dried, and lemon peel, and just let it sit together. It's really, really good, and it's I could just eat tons and tons of that. It's so delicious. So that's pretty much it for Napa cabbage. That's the two kinds of ways that I cut it, and yeah, it's delicious in so many different ways: raw, cooked, braised, stir fried. It's one of those things that I really like, and of course, I always have kimchi on hand too. So anyway, hopefully that was interesting, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.